I watched Bridgerton for the plot. Hello and welcome, my name's Tabby and today I'm going to be reviewing and discussing the latest show to take Netflix by storm, Bridgerton. Be assured I'll signpost spoilers well in advance, so if you haven't finished the show yet, you're in safe hands. At its core, I'd say Bridgerton is a hybrid of Gossip Girl, from the class politics to the anonymous columnist, Pride and Prejudice, which was released the same year in which this was set, Atonement with the, let's say, raunchier period drama tones, and Sofia Coppola's Marie Antoinette with the experimental blend of a modern colour palette and costuming within a period production design. It's based on the Bridgerton book series by Julia Quinn. There are 8 novels that each follow one of the children of the late Viscount Bridgerton. There's Anthony, Benedict, Colin, Daphne, Eloise, Francesca, Gregory and Hyacinth, an affluent family living in Regency London. I'm embarrassed to admit it did take me until the end of the series to realise that they're named alphabetically in chronological order. Season 1 adapts The Duke and I, which primarily focuses on Daphne and her burgeoning relationship with the Duke of Hastings as she enters into society as a debutante. In future seasons there will likely be a shift in character focus, which I'm actually really looking forward to. Everyone has their favourite characters, so it'll be nice to see them explored in more detail. Bridgerton is a period piece, yes, but it also feels incredibly modern. Shonda Rhimes, who's responsible for the likes of Grey's Anatomy, Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder, is executive producer here. She's an absolute icon when it comes to creating shows that are seasons long, shows that perhaps sometimes outstay their welcome, but she's also fantastic at seamlessly incorporating diverse characters and storylines into her shows. Bridgerton reflects this. I can't tell you how refreshing it is to see a period piece that isn't completely white. Now, Bridgerton is by no means historically accurate. From the costuming to the morals ethics of some of the characters, there's a lot to nitpick if you really have that urge, but maybe try not to be that person. I will happily forego historical accuracy in return for a fun show that more readily reflects today's politics and society. Bridgerton is decadent, it's frustrating, it's probably not the greatest show of 2020, or even amongst the greatest shows of 2020, but it is incredibly, incredibly watchable. There are a lot of beautiful people involved. The older Bridgerton bros and the Duke of Hastings are very easy on the eyes. There's the Lady Whistledown mystery. I found the culprit here a lot easier to deduce than in Gossip Girl, though the Gossip Girl reveal is still stupid and makes no sense. There are also plenty of interesting characters and situations. I especially adore Benedict, Eloise, Penelope and Lady Danbury, and I'm sure I'm not going to be alone there. It deals with issues such as pregnancy out of wedlock, separation within marriage, dueling, gambling, etiquette and class issues. There's certainly a lot to sink your teeth into. From now on there are going to be spoilers and significant spoilers because I want to talk about the nitty-gritty, so if you haven't watched all of Bridgerton yet, go away, watch it, come back and then we can discuss it. Let's start with the big one, the feisty periodical society paper writer that's narrated by Julie Andrews, Lady Whistledown. I think it was after episode 3 or 4 that I hedged my bets on this, and I did think it was Penelope Featherington. I've watched far too much TV. First of all, her name is literally Pen, as in she pens the column, periodical article or whatever you want to call it. A bit on the nose, I grant you. Secondly, she's privy to all the London ton gossip. She's out in society, she attends all the parties, she has the time and resources. Thirdly, she entertains Eloise's investigation into discovering the writer's identity, but she never really helps her. And finally, she never explicitly badmouths Colin, the guy she's crushing on. Despite revealing his scandalous marriage with the already pregnant Marina, he emerges from it incredibly well. The show does a good job of complicating the matter, throwing accusations around, but I'm glad that the Lady Whistledown reveal made some kind of sense at the end. It'll be interesting to see the part that she plays in later seasons. Benedict and Eloise are hands down my favourite characters, but that's likely because they more closely mirror modern sensibilities. Eloise is a feisty early feminist who doesn't want to be paraded around like a prized sheep or any other farm animal, like take your pick, and would really quite like to earn her own keep. Respect, love that for her, keep on going, queen. I guess the question is, do we want her to be proven wrong and to find a loving partner, someone who respects her independence and beliefs, nothing but the best for her, or do we want her to remain steadfast in her decision not to marry, despite what may come along? Mary Wollstonecraft's Vindication of the Rights of Women was published in 1792, which is some 20 years prior to when Bridgerton is set. Sorry, this is the English graduate in me coming out, but I'm really excited to see how much they delve into this kind of proto-feminism. I think there's a lot of scope there. And then we have Benedict, the soft little wannabe artist, who's always there for his family and reserves all judgment until after he's tried to grapple with a situation. I hope there are many more life-class orgies in his future, or what a valid hobby. I like where they're going in terms of exploring the second son dynamic, how that can actually be a pretty empowering, freeing position to hold. Again, it'll be interesting to see where they take that. Now, the core romance of the season, Daphne and Simon, was a bit of a rollercoaster ride. I liked Daphne's development. She went from being quite a prim and proper and bland character, one that more readily acts as a blank slate or canvas on which to project, to an active member of society who really tries to do best by everyone. She's caring, she's tactful, and she knows her own mind. Simon's arc saw him learning to let go of his hatred for his father, choosing to love Daphne more than he hated him. Now, there's been a lot of discussion around their relationship. Is it a loving one or a toxic one? My answer to that would be it's a complicated one. They don't communicate. Of course they don't, because there would be no drama or tension if they were upfront and honest with each other 100% of the time. The tension has to come from the little moments, the brush of a hand, the shared glance. I mean, you all remember how powerful the 2005 Pride and Prejudice hand flex was, right? The main scene that seems to come up in discussion is the one where Daphne puts a stop to Simon's pulling out policy. Can I say that? First thing to say on that is that the pulling out method is not a proactive form of contraception, despite what Simon may think. The second thing to say is that this scene should 100% be used as a talking point. Consent is so important, and although issues of female consent are being increasingly addressed in mainstream media, male consent is less often discussed. That needs to change. Honestly, I thought they were both in the wrong. Having a child is a mutual decision. Simon should have told Daphne that his decision not to have children was a choice. Daphne should not have done what she did. I'm glad it all ended amicably, but it was rough there for a hot minute. The ending feels rushed, and it probably was. It would have been nice to see Simon granted longer to come to terms with starting a family and becoming a father, but I get that they probably ended season 1 not knowing if a second season was on the cards yet or not, and they wanted it to be conclusive. So where could season 2 take us? With the viewing figures and general popularity of season 1, we're almost certainly getting a season 2, but because of the ongoing pandemic and the challenges that poses to production, I don't want to speculate as to when that could be, but I'm pretty sure we will get one. If it continues the trend of following the books in order, it'll be adapting The Viscount Who Loved Me next, which is Anthony Bridgerton's story. I've adored Jonathan Bailey since I saw him in Crashing, Phoebe Waller-Bridge's show, which you should definitely also check out, and he fits so seamlessly into a period piece. Anthony's season 1 arc was low-key heartbreaking, as he had to learn to let go of his ladylove Sienna. The season ends with him declaring love an irrelevance and promising to uphold his duty as Bridgerton heir and Viscount. I have a sneaky suspicion that love will find him despite his best efforts. Season 2 will no doubt also see the Featheringtons attempting to recover from the death of the patriarch to regain their standing in society. Although Penn's place in all of that will be interesting, given that we now know her to be financially independent. There's a lot more that I could say about Bridgerton, from the lush production design, seriously the set piece in episode 2 made me swoon, to the intricate ensemble nature of its storytelling. But for now, I'll leave you with my judgment. Bridgerton is not a masterpiece, nor will it appeal to absolutely everyone. Don't watch it with your parents. But it's visually rich, gripping, and thoroughly bingeable. Like the other Shondaland shows that I've watched, it's a very solid ensemble piece that will only benefit from being based on a book series. As long as there's engaging source material for them to wrap in lush pastels or garish patterns, I'll be there to watch. And that's all from me today. If you enjoyed today's video, drop a like down below, let me know your favourite Bridgerton character and why in the comments, and if you want more reviews, best of lists, discussions and reactions, be sure to subscribe. Until next time.